In this revision class, we'll be studying about the basic meaning of negotiable instrument and what are the main types of negotiable instrument or main kinds of negotiable instrument. I have already taught all these topics in the class, but for the revision sake, we are doing it again. So kindly attention. First, Section 13 gives out the definition or meaning of negotiable instrument. Section 13 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. A negotiable instrument means a promissory note, bill of exchange, or check payable either to order or to bearer. Where the meaning of bearer I have already told you, one who bears the check or one who possesses the check or one who has the check, जिसके हाथ में उस टाइम चेक है जब वो इनकैश कराने गए, उन्हीं कहते हैं हम bearer. So, a negotiable instrument it can be a promissory note. I will explain you the meaning of all these terms. Promissory note, bill of exchange, or check, which can be either payable to the bearer, that means one who possesses that document, or to his order. Not of the order of the bearer, but who has the right to write the who has the authority to write the check, bill of exchange, or promissory note. Like if I have want to make payment to Mr. A, then I will write on my check or on my promissory note or bill of exchange that I am making payment to Mr. A. So this payment is said to be that a payment which is made on my order from my bank account. Okay, and bearer is if and I write on the check that pay to bearer, then anyone who gets that check becomes the bearer and can get it encashed. Let us move forward to explanation 1. A promissory note, bill of exchange, or check is payable to order which is expressed to be so payable or which is expressed to be payable to a particular person and does not contain words prohibiting transfer indicating an intention that it shall not be transferable. Paying to order, I have already explained you what does this mean. That when you write the name of a particular person or organization, then that check or promissory note or bill of exchange becomes payable by order, and it would be paid to that very person or organization only. But you cannot write that if I want to write on my check that pay to Mr. A, I can write pay to Mr. A. It will be deemed as if it is a check which would be paid on my order, but I cannot write that Mr. A cannot further transfer this check or any kind of negotiable instrument which I am giving to him. This is not possible. Transferability of a negotiable instrument cannot be stopped. Next explanation 2. A promissory note, bill of exchange, or check is payable to bearer which is expressed to be so payable or on which the only or last endorsement is an endorsement in blank. Promissory note, bill of exchange, or bearer which is expressed to be payable. It is saying that whatever is the name written on the promissory note, bill of exchange, or check, it has to be paid to that person only. And if it is endorsed, that means it is transferred to someone else, then it has to be paid to the person on whose name it has been endorsed. Or if it is endorsed in blank, that means it is not transferred to anyone, then it would be paid to the person whose name is written on the promissory note, bill of exchange, or check. That's it. Explanation 3. Where a promissory note, bill of exchange, or check, either originally or by endorsement, is expressed to be payable to a order of a specified person and not to him or his order, it is nevertheless payable to him or his order at his option. If it is written that it can be paid to a person whose name is written on it, it is payable by order. And if it is written that anyone at his option, like anyone, it can be paid to anyone at his option, that means it would be paid to anyone who this person whose name is written on it asks or orders to pay. Basically, it can be transferred. This is the meaning. And the second clause of this section is saying that a negotiable instrument may be made payable to two or more pays jointly, or it may be made payable in the alternative of one or two, or one of or more several persons pays. Basically, a joint payment can be made through a means of one negotiable instrument also, and if two or more persons are there, payees are there to whom the payment has to be made by the payer, then an alternate payment can be made. That is, I have to pay to Mr. A and B jointly, then it can be done that I am just paying Mr. A. Now coming to the definition of negotiable instrument. After doing the definition of negotiable instrument, we have come to the definition of the first type of negotiable instrument, that is promissory note. The promissory note is a signed document of written promise to pay a stated sum to a specified person or the bearer at a specified date and time. So the promissory note, as I have explained you, is a signed document of a written promise to pay a stated sum of money. You sign a document, write the name of the person to whom you want to make the payment, write the name of the person who would be paying, and then sign it. Promise it that you would be paying. The promissory note is an instrument in writing, and it is an unconditional order. No conditions are attached to it. The transferability also cannot be stopped of the promissory note, and it is a promise by the debtor to the creditor. For example, I have taken a debt from Mr. A, so I cannot pay him in money at that time. So I am giving him a note writing that I promise you to pay your debt of rupees 100 rupees. Let's say I took a debt of 100 rupees and I would be paying it on a later day. So if the negotiating means talking on terms and condition of a particular agreement, and then if me and Mr. A both agree on that negotiation, then I can write that negotiable instrument. Always remember, all the instruments which we use in negotiable instrument, as the name itself suggests, is subject to negotiation. The person who has to accept it can also decline it, so then you have to resort to some other way. But the acceptance and decline can be done only before the writing of the instrument. Once the writing of the instrument has been done and the acceptance has been done, then the instrument binds both the parties. Next is bill of exchange. Bill of exchange contains an order from the creditor to the debtor to pay a certain sum of money. The person to whom the amount is payable is called the payee. The person who draws is called the drawer, that is the creditor, and the person on whom it is drawn is called the drawee. Now the promissory note was drawn by the debtor. जिसने उधार लिया वो प्रॉमिस करता था कि वो उधार चुकाएगा. Bill of exchange is the opposite. In bill of exchange, the person who has given the debt, that is the creditor, जिसने उधार दिया, that is the payee. ये तीन अलग अलग नाम है, creditor, drawer और payee. Draws the bill of exchange. That is why he is also called drawer of the bill of exchange. The creditor is called the drawer. Why? Because he draws a bill of exchange in favor of a person, that is his debtor, that the debtor is unable to pay the money in cash, so I am accepting this from bill of exchange in lieu of cash, and he would be paying me on so and so date, like 10th of May. So this is how bill of exchange works. The person who draws bill of exchange is the creditor himself, but the person, so he is called the drawer. But the person who draws a promissory note, that is who makes a promise in case of promissory note, is the debtor. Next is check. Check is a bill of exchange drawn a specified banker not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand. It is an instrument in writing containing unconditional orders signed by the maker, that is depositor, directing a banker to pay certain sum of money to the bearer or by his order. See, check is very simple. The person who owes money would write check in favor of the person to whom he has to give the money or to whom he owes that money, and then he can order his banker in whose bank he has deposited the money to pay the bearer. If there is no name written on the check, it is written only paid to bearer. Or if it is a name written on the check, like if if I am not able to give money in cash, I am writing a check of 1000 rupees in favor of Mr. A, and I have written paid to Mr. A, then it would be paid specifically to Mr. A. These are the three main types of bills of exchange. Negotiable instrument. They are bills of exchange, uh, promissory note, and check. I hope it is clear to you. If you don't understand anything, you can get back to me. Thank you, class.